All right, we are streaming, I think.
Great.
Just let me know if you see people in the chat.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Yep, it says we're live, man. So I'm going to.
We are live and in living color. All right, let me turn on the phone. See, well, I'll be able to see the chat here. If anybody's watching, please please type in the chat. We want to make sure that we're reconnected to you guys. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We're still working things out with the joint channel. And the Steelers come out with a screen pass there. And it looks like they're going to pick up the first down there on 3rd and 3. And they continue to blow out the Carolina Panthers.
Yes. Yeah, what a drive.
It looks like there's no lagging now, at least on my end, which is good.
Thank you, Rock Lynch, for being a subscriber.
Oh, so we have I don't see anybody in the chat. There's people chatting?
So far we are just up and running, so I'll let you know. But we're back up and running. It looks great.
Okay, very good.
We have one person's in. We're rocking and rolling.
Oh, we're rocking and rolling. We got Ben in the shotgun. Hand off to Connor. Connor's going to go up the middle, and he is going to get stuffed for a 1-yard gain. And we're going to have a 2nd and 9 coming up for the Panthers.
So I think it's pretty amazing how this Pittsburgh offense has prepared this week under a short week. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked by this result. I really am. I never thought in a million years the Pittsburgh Steelers would blow the Panthers out like this because the Panthers have been so good. Now, I will say this. The Panthers were down 17 points a few weeks ago against the Eagles, and they came back. So I'm not going to completely count them out yet.
It's not completely over. Cam Newton is capable of magic, but let's see if Big Ben and the Steelers convert. I'll tell you right now, he takes the snap for me, and then he throws up top.
Whoa! He almost came down with that. We're going to have a 3rd and 8 coming up. By the way, guys, whoever's back in the chat, we apologize for the technical difficulties. We're still getting used to it with the streaming. Hopefully one day we'll be able to just do it together. We won't have to stream on the internet. That's the eventual goal with this channel.
Yes.
But it's baby steps. And this is
it looks impressive. We even got 3 people in watching. People are catching on to how electric this Insomnia Sports can really be.
I apologize for the makeshift screen. I actually did a live stream yesterday on my channel. I was just trying to get it up as quickly as possible, so I still got the Giants logo up top. I normally do Giant streams, but I tried to get a quick Steelers and Panthers logo there for you guys. And we got
and that's the thing. We're persistent.
That's a touchdown. What a throw! He's wide open there. Where's the coverage?
He wasn't wide open. Sir Vance a lot.
Where is the coverage? Great throw though. Great throw. And the Steelers are up 38-14. I hope you got Ben on your fantasy team if you're watching this game.
What a throw, baby. I told you, Entertainer. I should have taken even the 5, man. I should have taken the 5 from you.
By the way, I want to thank everybody who's ever watching us right now. This is our first live stream together on this channel. We're trying to build this up, so you guys are going to be a part of history. This is going to be the biggest YouTube channel ever created. We plan on having 50 million subscribers within, 2 years, Spence?
Yes.
So you guys...
Matt is a part of history.
G-Man409, love G-Man4. I don't know if he's here or not.
G-Man409. Oh, was he bobbling it? This is reminiscent of that play last year with that guy, Jesse Bates or something. You remember that dude?
Jesse James.
Jesse James, he had that country singing noise.
Yeah. But by the way, I saw Steven Perez subscribe to the channel. I love Steve. He always tunes into my live streams. I saw that when I just logged in.
Yeah, and Matt and Matt is going to be the guy. That is he's definitely a part of history. Remember that dude who said I looked like an inbred yesterday, Juan or something?
I felt so bad for you. I read the comment. I was like, oh my god.
You thought that I would just cry and fold up camp after that he would have destroyed it?
No. I mean, you learn that on YouTube. You deal with those people that are going to pick on you.
Exactly.
You know how many comments I've gotten where people told me that I should go back to flipping pizzas? I've gotten tons of those comments. They said I should go back to making meatballs, flipping pizzas. I said I'm doing what I love to do. I'm
sure that you do make good pizza though.
I'm half Italian, so I make a half a good pizza.
That's part of the law of being Italian. somehow runs through your veins. But
what's your food of choice, by the way? I love Italian food. Obviously, I love Mexican. What do you?
We're gonna get to know each other real well on this channel. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. By the way, anybody who's listening,
I had one meal, right? One meal. I'm going New York strip steak with A1 steak sauce, cooked medium. I'll then have
you go with the medium, huh? I'm a rare guy. I like it still bleeding.
So you like it raw, rare, real tough guy. You like it rare.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know what I like? I'll tell you, I like cream spinach a lot with the steak, mashed potatoes and cream spinach.
Right. I'm more of a sweet potato guy myself, but I do like the mashed potatoes. There's no doubt about it. And I'm sorry we're getting off topic here. I like to keep the stream interesting. I like to talk a little food, a little beer while we're on break.
Come on, it's getting really interesting. G-Men 409's even back, and I like a lava cake, a chocolate lava cake as well.
I don't mean to interrupt. So you see that? So G-Men 409 just put in the chat because I don't see anything in the chat.
Yes, he says he's getting hungry now. That's how special this chat is.
All right, let me pull it up on the phone then, because for some reason, actually, I'll pull it up. No, I can't pull it up on my laptop because then I'll lose you. But I want to pull it up on the phone. That way I could go along with the chat.
Don't want to lose me, buddy. I'm just watching the whole thing. I mean, I'm not even staring at you right now. I'm watching the damn chat. We got 5 people in. I mean, our numbers are freaking rocking. We're rocking.
I don't mean to brag. I mean, I was watching the first half when you were solo. You getting 1-2 viewers. I come in, it pops like it
pops like a damn balloon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start talking like you because we chat so much, but oh no, Nathan Hill. Yes!
But I'm just so glad to finally get this channel off the ground, and we're going to have so much football content, we're going to get sick of it.
We are going to get sick of football, we're going to get sick of one another as well.
No, we'll never get sick of one another. I love you, I love Ian over at Jet Central. I'll tell you something about JC. One of the most humble guys I've ever talked to. Such a great guy, and I cannot wait to continue to work with him, and you're great. I mean, you know more about football than anybody I know. And I'm just super excited to just get this underway. There's not two better guys that I'd rather do a joint channel with. And the second that you came to me with the idea, I just fell in love with it.
So, yeah, let's see. I mean, he barely had the ball. I mean, they're still going back and reviewing this, but it doesn't make sense. Yo, he's Nathan Hill, the big Bears fan. Who did the Bears got this weekend? They're not on bye. I know the Bears have someone interesting this week. Who do they have?
The Bears are playing. I actually just did my picks with JC today. The Bears are playing the Lions. The Bears are at home. I expect them to win that game. I'll tell you something. The Bears are an interesting team if they can get into the playoffs. I'm not picking them to win, but I
don't think they're that interesting because I still think the Vikings. It's way too competitive this year for the Bears.
Do you think? But they have the defense. You know what? If they're healthy, they're a dangerous team. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm more scared of the Panthers, obviously, in a wild card round. But the Bears, the NFC's interesting this year. It really is.
Great. Oh my gosh, a sack. These Steelers are playing great, man. It's a snowball effect. This team has really gotten so much better since the Ryan Fitzpatrick game. Remember when the Steelers also got blown out by the Ravens and you're like, the Steelers suck. They're having a down year.
But if you go back,
Steelers rope-a-dope us all the time.
If you go back and look at the Steelers' history, and I'm sorry I keep looking to the left. I'm looking at my monitor, so I'm looking at you, but it looks like I'm looking away from you. But the Steelers, every year they do this. They start off, they lose 2 games. They start 1-2, and then they get hot. They do it and the Patriots do the same thing. We saw it last year with the Pats when they lost at home to the Chiefs week 1. And then, of course, they rolled. I think they finished 13-3. I'm sure they're going to do something similar this year. And here comes Newton, little screen pass. And
hit him, yeah, baby!
This will be a punt here. I just want to address the chat a little bit. I want to thank each and every one of you guys that's popped into the chat. Fat Matt says he likes Minnesota. Minnesota was actually my preseason Super Bowl pick. I don't know if I'm picking them anymore, but I do like the talent on Minnesota. Fat Matt, I completely agree with you on Bulls. And I was a Bulls supporter up this year because a lot of my friends are Jet fans. And every year I hear them bitch and moan about Bulls. And I keep looking at the Jets record and I'm saying, you know what? They keep outperforming what I think they're supposed to do. But this year, Bulls has been horrific. And I think the first mistake he made was starting Darnold week 1. I thought that was a huge mistake. I didn't think he was ready. I would have waited till week 5 or 6 to get him to start. That's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I look at Todd Bowles, and I think that Jets fans have actually been quite the opposite. I think that they've been fighting Todd Bowles, or they've been fighting back against the anti-Bowles, because I was the anti-Bowles. I thought the Jets fans expected a huge year this year, and with Sam Darnold, he wasn't exactly he wasn't exactly taking risks early in the season. That Lions game he played well in. Even, the Cleveland game, he didn't do terrible. Against the Dolphins, he didn't do that badly. He started off, he kind of got off to a decent start, and he's getting worse as the year comes along. So I think it's more of an offensive coaching ineptitude than it is Sam Darnold. I think it was the right decision. If you watch those preseason games, Sam Darnold played well enough in the preseason, and then he gave an opportunity.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I understand where you're coming from, that he played probably at least equal to any other quarterback on the roster in the preseason, even though Bridgewater had a great preseason, by the way, but they ended up trading him. But I will say this. If you looked at the Jets' schedule before the season started, they played Jacksonville week 4. They played Denver week 5. You are just asking to have your young 20-year-old quarterback's confidence crippled. That's why I would have waited till after week 5. Let him break in. Let him learn the playbook. Let him learn under an advanced starter, and then bring him in. I didn't agree with starting in week 1. But everybody has their thoughts.
I like starting on week 1 because you got to get. I like the quarterback getting experience, and I don't really believe in ruining like a young guy's confidence. And maybe if you looked at the Buffalo Bills, they didn't start Josh Allen week 1, but they have an awful offensive line. Chris, if you remember in that Denver game, Sam Darnold couldn't have looked any better. I mean, 3 for 2 touchdowns. The Jets were rolling to start the year. Then the Jets beat the Colts. Sam Darnold's looked good.
When Sam
Darnold's looked bad in are the Vikings, the Bears, and the Dolphins, and those are 3 really tough defenses that he's going up against.
I don't want you or anybody to think I'm down on Darnold. I still think Darnold could be a very good quarterback at the pro level. I just recognize he's a young pup. He's 20 years old. He's still learning the playbook. And that's just my belief. I believe in doing what the Giants did with Eli Manning. If you remember correctly, Kurt Warner started the first 6 games of Eli Manning's career. They broke Eli Manning in, and that was actually a huge topic of discussion when the Giants decided to play. It was either 6 or 7 games, but I remember the Giants had like a 4-2 record, and they pulled Kurt Warner for Eli, and Giants fans were up in arms about that. It, of course, ended up being a great decision as Eli won a Super Bowl 3 years later, but that's just my belief. I don't believe in, especially when you're 20 years old. It's not like Mayfield who's 23. You got a 20-year-old quarterback. And the Jets' offensive line is suspect. I just didn't agree with it. That's just my take on it.
Yeah. I thought it was fine. I don't think Darnold is ever going to turn out to be really good. I mean, if I had to predict.
Actually, I'll tell you, you know who Darnold reminds me of when I watch him a little bit? And we should be talking about the game. I apologize, guys. I just love talking football. And we broke into a little Jets discussion. You know who Darnold reminds me of when I watch him play a little bit? And I'm not saying he's going to be as good as this guy, but he reminds me a lot of Andrew Luck. With his mobility, his ability to throw on the run, he's a lot more athletic than I thought he'd be.
I mean, I can see it, how he hangs in the pocket. He definitely takes shots. He's shifty. I just don't know if he has that arm talent that I'm necessarily looking for. I think if Darnold's going to be really successful, he's going to have to be a Phillip Rivers type of quarterback that gets the ball out of his hands quickly, or a Tony Romo.
Here comes Ben on shot, and another first down there by the Steelers.
Well, they can't tackle him. Vance McDonald, I think.
This is just a beatdown. I mean, this is a shame. This is a shame. I was looking forward to this game. I thought it should be a great first game to stream. We got 2 great teams going at it head-to-head Thursday night, and it's 38-14. Steelers are driving.
The Panthers are maybe the Panthers are pretenders, like I've been saying all along. And then the Panthers go to Detroit next week. Who knows? Uh-oh! It's looking like the Falcons are more formidable.
The camera angle is awful. I don't know if he's talking about my angle or your angle.
No, or maybe the television.
Oh, okay.
Well, when did you say that?
John G said the camera angle is awful. I don't know. Maybe you got a bad angle. Maybe he doesn't like the way. I mean, this is my angle in all my videos, so.
Come on, it's fantastic. I mean, we're doing something that not a lot of people are doing. It's two guys YouTubing across state lines or Skyping across state lines. So, yeah. I mean, what I was going to say, and the thing is, we answer the chats. That's what we do is we answer the chat. And somebody says A.J. Brown from Ole Miss. He's a very good tight end.
A lot of people like him this year.
What? Yeah, A.J. Brown's a beast, but I would go O-line for the New York Jets probably because I think you could find wide receivers.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. The Jets desperately need to improve that O-line, and we got a third down coming up here for the Steelers. Down. 3rd and 6, I think it is.
Yeah. So Carolina, do you think this loss is going to possibly linger for Carolina, where they will start to doubt their confidence?
No, I don't, because I think Carolina. I'll tell you, I think Carolina. They're an experienced team. They're a veteran team. They've been together now for a while. This nucleus with the head coach Ron Rivera with
look at this call. They're bringing the house here on 3rd and 6. I mean, there's nobody deep. This could be a big play. Big Ben loads up and throws.
Looks like he's short. Looks like he's a yard short. Looks like we're gonna have a 4th and about a half a yard.
Go for it and put them out of their misery.
We're kind of in no man's land, and they gave him a great spot. If I'm the Panthers here, I think I challenge the spot. Looks like they gave him the 1st down.
Yeah, everybody wanted Dante Fowler. Devin White out of LSU is a beast as well, Nathan. I really like for the Colts, Devin White.
How funny is this? I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm looking at the chat. We got 2 Giants fan YouTubers in here, and we got a whole Jet. Everybody in the chat is a Jet fan.
It's a Jet takeover. It really is a Jet takeover. Look at Kidder. It's crazy. Maybe they're all just JCers. Maybe JC is sprouting all these Jets people out on the freaking YouTube lines.
No,
He's building baby Jet fans everywhere. I've never seen it.
I'm a big. I'm not a big Jet fan. I'm a Giant fan, but I support the Jets. When
You're gonna have to say that line a lot.
No, it really is the truth. I've never hated the Jets. I have all my family members are Jet fans.
Yeah,
I have a ton of friends that are Jet fans. And
whenever the Giants enough to hate, they're not successful enough to hate.
Yeah, and I empathize with Jet fans because I'm a Met fan and I know how it feels. Because when we're the Yankees, I always say being a Met fan is the worst team to root for in all of sports because your rival, in-city rival, is the New York Yankees, who have 27 World Championships. So it's like you always have to live up to impossibility, and the Mets are just this miserable franchise. So
you're always little brother.
It's a lot easier to be a Jet fan, I think, than a Met fan. But that's just me personally.
I probably would agree. Probably. Except, like, you play in the AL East, it's kind of exciting. You have the Phillies, you have the Braves, you have some...
JC,
and at least you don't have the Patriots in your division. I'll say that. What a play! What a play by Benny! Look at him!
Oh my God! That's a penalty. That's a flag.
That's what Eli can't do.
And Ben how's that not a flag?
Hey!
There's the flag.
Of course, Eric Reed's getting into something. He gets into something every game. Remember, he went after Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I mean, you see that a lot with safeties.
He's an instigator, Eric Reed, because the Eagles hated him too.
But Ben just rolls out. He gets to the 13th start.
Oh, that's uncalled for, and I kind of like DeCastro sticking up for your quarterback.
I just want to read this real quick. Some of the people in the chat.
You're a White Sox fan? That's kind of the same way, especially when the Cubs won the World Series, but the Cubs ain't the New York Yankees.
I see that Brian B Gaming asks, where's JC? JC will actually, he's not going to be here tonight because he works. He actually works at a bar, believe it or not.
He does. And he picks up bad chicks at the bar.
He does. I'll tell you, I got to go to that bar with him one night, and I think we'd walk out of there with,
You got to set me up, man. You got to be the setup man.
I think we'd walk out of there with a handful of chicks, but
you got to set it up for me, Tainer, man.
But JC works till about 11:30, I think, on Thursdays. But every Sunday night, we're gonna try to stream together, all three of us. And we're also going to Monday night, of course, the Giants are playing. So this week it's going to be on my channel. But you two could do the stream on this channel. If people would like to see JC, you guys could stream the Monday night game if possible.
That's nice. Big Ben and Reed getting it together. That's nice, because the one thing is, if you're the Steelers, you just want to keep it under control. Sunday night is Eagles and Cowboys. I actually got like tickets for that game, so I still might be able to stream though.
By the way, anybody new to the channel, and I'm sure most of you guys are probably from Rover's page because he announced it, but if anybody's new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to grow. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so. We really do appreciate it. And we're just having a great time talking football with you guys. In all my live streams, I like to talk to the chat. I like them to feel like they're a part of the show. So that's what I do.
Yep, next Sunday is Bears and Vikings. Yep, and Nathan, I did do some Mitchell Trubisky tape earlier in the week for the Bears. But, Tanner, I wanted to ask you, I wanted to ask you this question. I actually forget. I'm really sorry. I forget what I was going to ask you.
Well, you better think about it.
Fat Matt asked, are you guys on Twitter? We are.
I am on Twitter. Actually,
Rover Sports.
Actually, can you type it in real quick? Because I can't. Because I'm actually. I can type it in here. Hold on. I'll type my Twitter.
I remembered what I was going to say to you.
Go ahead.
It's that when I was on this chat, I was floating with one or two. I was kind of almost talking to myself. And then you came into the chat. And this thing, it absolutely just sparked, man.
That's, by the way, I just typed
Lou Williams.
I just typed it in. That's my my Twitter handle, DA Entertainer 85. So you guys
know who you are, man. You're like Lou Williams. You're like constant energy.
I'm like instant offense off the bench, right?
Instant offense. Tim Hardaway, Tyreek Evans.
I'm like J.R. Smith, but I don't do cocaine.
Yes. Hey, Tanner, is your favorite comedian Sebastian Maniscalco?
I don't even know who that is. My favorite, I'm old school with my comedians. My favorite stand-up comedian of all time, and I got to see him live, thank God, before he died, is George Carlin. That guy, to me, is the greatest stand-up comedian ever. He's the type of guy that it was an event just to see him. You didn't even care what came out of his mouth. That's how good of a stand-up comedian he was. And I actually just saw Bill Burr a couple of months ago, and he is a terrific stand-up comedian. I don't know.
Where'd you see Burr? I gotta look up his tour. I love Bill Burr.
I saw Bill Burr when I was in Vegas for my friend's bachelor party.
Funny as hell. You saw a live stand-up of Burr? You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. He's great. He is
great.
Yeah,
and he shits on like Philly so much. That was the greatest rant. If you ever want to see Bill Burr shit on Philly, his rants about sports. He's a huge Boston sports fan too.
Brian B. Game is asking me where I'm from in New York. I am from Brooklyn, actually. I'm from Greenpoint, New York. I'm originally from Long Island.
So I want to give you my top comedians.
Go ahead. By the way, the Steelers about to score. Steelers just scored another touchdown. I feel like I'm watching.
The route is on.
I feel like I'm watching the Super Bowl back in the '90s when the NFC used to beat the piss out of the AFC every year, and the Panthers are now 45-14 after the extra point that's about to come.
I got that one spot on, didn't I?
Except that you bet the under. The Steelers are gonna pass the over/under by themselves.
Yeah, but I freaking said the Steelers would rout them.
You called that, that's for sure. But
no, I did. I got you on that. But and also. Yeah, I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers completely just routing out Carolina right now.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm just trying to interact with the chat. They're asking some questions. Fat Matt, you live on Long Island. That's very cool. What part of Long Island? I'm originally from North Massapequa, and Nathan Hill asked if I'm a Knicks fan. I am. I actually do occasional Knicks content on my YouTube channel. So I'm trying to pick that up more because I've been so focused on the football since it's in season because it's a lot of work. You got to do your pregame video, any breaking news, the postgame video, the live streams, this, that, the other thing. But I usually try to do a Knicks video once a week or so. But yes, I am a Knicks fan.
Yes, he is. He's one of the best Knicks fans.
I am a diehard Knicks. I go all the way back to the Ewing, the Oakley, the Starks days. That team, I'll tell you this right now, Spencer, you're not as old as me. I'm 32.
Right.
That team defined New York City. They were a bunch of fighters. They made you proud to be a Knicks fan, and I miss those days. And basketball's just not played the same way anymore because you're not allowed to be a tough, rough team like that anymore.
No, you're not allowed to touch guys anymore, and that is why. And I'll tell you what, that is why the favorites always win, like Golden State. Because if Golden State played back with like Jermaine O'Neal, Al Harrington, Steven Jackson, and Ron Artest, they would get pushed around. And I liked when basketball was really physical. I liked when, now you can't hand check a guy, but the way to get rid of parity in the NBA is to let defenders put their hands on people again,
Well, yeah, that's what killed the league. But at the same time, because I know why they did it.
And now the scoring is freaking
that's
bullshit.
That's what I was going to
130 points a damn game now.
That's what I was going to say. Because of the new rules, guys like Steph Curry exist, guys like James Harden exist. You think James Harden and Steph Curry would be able to do the nonsense that they do now back in the day?
Steph Curry would get the shit beat out of him.
Anthony Mason would have thrown him to the ground like a rag doll. But I mean, he'd still be a great player, but he wouldn't be what he is.
Oh, how about that Kings team with Doug Christie, with Peja, with Brad Miller?
I always say that Kings team, and I know we're going off topic. We're a football show. We just love talking sports. We're gonna get back to the football. But that Kings team is the greatest team since I've been watching. Well, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. But one of, for sure, the greatest teams to not win a championship in NBA history. You had Chris Webber. You had Vlade Divac Vlade Divac is one of the most underrated centers in the history of basketball. One of the greatest passing big men there are. You had Doug Christie, who was a terrific defender. Mike Bibby was unbelievable that year. Peja Stojakovic. Hedo Turkoglu came off the bench. You had
Bobby Jackson.
Bobby Jackson came off the bench. Jim Jackson came off the bench. You had who was the guy
Webb.
Well, I said Webb. He was their best player, but they had another.
Miller.
Brad Miller, too. I mean, that team was just stacked.
Lights out. Rick Adelman as the coach at Arco. Gives me chills.
Oh, G-Man 409, you're also 32. Yeah, you love that team. Yeah, I miss that kind of basketball. That's my favorite individual team I ever rooted for, was that Knick team with Mason and Harper and Ewing and Starks. Here come the Panthers on the kickoff return.
It sounds like your basketball is pretty similar to the Memphis Grizzlies of Tony Allen and Zach Randolph, the grit and grind kind of basketball.
I mean, that.
Oh my God! Fumble!
Oh my God! The Steelers recover the fumble.
DJ Moore puts it on the ground again, and the route is on, baby.
The Steelers, we got 10. We just hit double digits. We got 10 people viewing the live stream, and the Steelers have.
The route is what an embarrassment by Carolina.
The Steelers
set them back.
The Steelers are gonna have the ball here on. He might have been down. Let's take a look at. He is not down.
No,
he is not down. And the Steelers are gonna have. Did they get a touchdown on this? No, right?
No, they didn't. This is hilarious. This is gonna be 52-14. I would have made so much money if I said the Steelers would win the game by 42 points.
I'll tell you, I did not expect Ben to come out here and do this. I really didn't. I am shocked.
Ben is slaying it right now.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, Spencer. I love you. You look so adorable in that. What are you laying down on your side right now? You got like that model pose going.
I've been doing 3 fucking hours of this right now. Yeah, this is like the AIM days with the middle school chicks right here. Yeah. Yeah, when I used to freaking group chat girls. You're absolutely right, man.
All right.
Carolina's doing it to me like that.
So Fat Matt says he's rooting for a Connor touchdown. All right, you know what? I'm gonna root for you, Matt. I'm hoping Connor gets you a touchdown.
Matt, remember Matt when we are, sipping, when we're sipping pina coladas with the Bahamas and we're dating Rihanna and all that shit, we're going to remember Matt.
I'll tell you, if we ever get to that point, which we are very far away from, Matt will be invited to every boat party. G-Man 49 will be invited to every boat party. Brian Game, everybody in this chat right now.
Yeah, I guess we might pay for them the rest of their lives.
Rest of their lives, we will have a boat
party.
party.
Them like family.
We'll be drinking Modelo's every day, whatever your beer of choice. By the way, I want to ask everybody in the chat, I am a big beer drinker. If you've never seen my channel, what is everybody's beer of choice? Because I switch it up. I go all over the place.
That's an understatement. You are a borderline alcoholic.
But no, but I love beer. It's my thing. I love drinking beer.
You would die if you didn't have it. It's like a battery.
No, it is. It keeps me. It's like my spinach. If I was Popeye, it's like my spinach. It's what gives me energy for my videos.
So I mean, so what beer? What common man beer do you like?
Well, what do you consider a common man beer? I mean that's a tough question.
Like a non-IPA. I mean like a Bud Light,
So
Miller
so
Lite.
we're talking
Something you can get at the convenience store.
Okay, so we're talking like domestic. We're talking like. So you're telling me either like Bud Light, Miller Lite.
Fine, yeah, domestic, but
Coors
I guess
Light.
Heineken might be in that category.
If you include Heineken in there, I'm taking Heineken. Although I will say this, Heineken to me, maybe it's just me. Whenever I open up a Heineken, it smells like pot. It smells like marijuana. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. That's the sense that I always get. I don't know. It's weird.
No. I haven't had that much pot anyway. I don't really think so. But I'm going to think about it next time.
Next time you open up a Heineken, I don't know how much experience you have smoking pot. I don't do it anymore. I used to do it when I was younger.
Me too.
Take a whiff, and I bet you're going to say the entertainer was right.
Yeah, I haven't smoked pot since like the middle school days.
That's good. Stay off of that.
Hey, but you know what? What was your favorite video game to play high? I mean, did you grow up when you could play video games high? Did you play Halo 2 and I played NBA Jam? Did you grow up playing?
Actually, I got a funny story. The first time I ever smoked pot, and we probably shouldn't be talking about this. There might be kids.
No,
watching.
we're gonna get cut off on YouTube right now. Now it's like insomnia cookies.
We're gonna lose our 20 subscribers, and we're gonna have to start over again. But no, the first time I ever smoked pot, I actually went through a Krispy Kreme. And what a horrible mistake that was. I was with 3 of my friends, and the Steelers just scored another touchdown. I'm just trying to keep the chat entertained with my pot stories.
Oh, my God.
And it's going to be 52-14 here. I went to Krispy Kreme, and I ate a full dozen donuts, glazed donuts. Full dozen.
That was back in the glory days before metabolism, right?
Exactly, before metabolism. So
I was always thankful in that way. Oh, that's an incredible run, by the way. The balls to just jump in the air like that to finish over Luke Kuechly.
So now we got a 52-14 game. We got. I don't know. Do you think we could? Do you think the Panthers could come back here if they recover like 6 onside kicks?
I thought you were going to say you think they could just come back just straight.
Let's take a look. Nathan Hill says he's a Bulls fan, but Nathan Hill, Derrick Rose so far this year has been incredible. He has turned back the. I was watching the game last night. The Timberwolves played. Who'd they play?
Lakers. That was a fun game.
Yeah, fun game. And Derrick Rose, I only saw the first 3 quarters. I fell asleep, but I think he had 17 or 18 points before I went to sleep. And he had a 50-something point game the other night. And people forget, Derrick Rose a couple of years ago with the Knicks was pretty good before he got hurt. I think he had 18 and 6 for the year.
Well, was he good on that team with who else was on that team? Like Joakim Noah or something?
Well, no, it was a complete bust. That team sucked.
No, with the Knicks, he still wasn't that good, though. He still wasn't that explosive. But I like that Jeff Teague. I mean, I don't want to say I like that guys are injured, but the fact that Jeff Teague is hurt, it makes that team much more exciting, though, to watch Derek go out and play.
Oh, I agree with that, for sure. And again, I just want to thank everybody who stuck around with us, who's still watching us talk basketball, football. I'm sure you guys tune in to hear about the Steelers, but unfortunately, it's hard to talk about a football game when a team is losing 52-14.
We're talking about, our experiences, our first-time experiences. You know what we'll do? We'll come up with themes to the show. We should have fans vote on, like, first-time experiences for us, like funny topics, like when was the first time you drank in high school, or when was the first time you did that. I think that would be really funny for a chat.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that would be hysterical if we had topics.
He finished with 31 points and drained 7 threes, Nathan. Yeah, he was incredible, Nathan.
Last night?
Yeah, when I went to bed, he had like 18 or 19 in the third.
Holy shit. By the way, Nathan Hill's so lucky because he gets to watch Zach LaVine play basketball. Zach LaVine's my favorite player in the NBA. He's the most exciting player in the NBA. I'm not saying he's going to be a Kobe Bryant, but the way that he shoots the ball, I mean, how athletic is that jump shot? The way that he can soar up in the air to shoot the basketball, the way he can finish at the rim. LaVine is a freaky athlete. He's the most fun guy in the NBA to me, Zach LaVine.
I'll tell you this. When the Bulls signed that contract this offseason, and I'm sorry, I'm choking on my combos. I didn't get to eat after work. When the Bulls signed that contract with Zach LaVine, I thought it was a horrible contract. I'll be the first to say it. That guy, he's earned every penny of that contract. He's averaging like 27 points. He killed the Knicks the other night. But I do think they're going to regret that Jabari Parker contract.
Well, Jabari is so fat. I mean, he's so overweight. You know, seeing him in person, he can't move.
So I see Brian B. Gaming saying he doesn't follow basketball as much because the Knicks are horrible. I don't blame you. It's hard to root for the team that hasn't been a consistent winner since I've been about 10 years old. So,
but the thing is, I'm a Sixer guy, and when Ben Simmons and Embiid got here, this whole it changed. It could change in a split second. It all depends on free agency.
Well, and it depends on the draft.
Yo, guess what Matt's asking us?
I love these random questions. What's my favorite pizza?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, I asked my friend this. It's semi-related to this question, and then I will get to Matt's answer. I asked my friend this question the other day, and I'm going to ask you now and everybody in the chat. If you were stuck on an island, and you could only eat one type of food for the rest of your life, every day, 3 times a day, what would you pick? And if you pick pizza, it has to. You can't change up your toppings. It's got to either be always pepperoni or whatever.
Yeah, and it has to be from a specific chain. I almost want to make it relatable.
No chains. You could whatever you want.
I'm laughing because remember I said steak, but I ain't eating steak every day. I want something that I can have every single day. Like, I'm going to be more pragmatic about it, Chris. This is something I have to have every single day. So it's something I really like. It's a real go-to for me. Pizza's just too much bread. It's too much of a risk, honestly, about
what do you mean risk? What would you stuck on an island? What are you risking? Just eat what you want to eat.
Okay, guess what? I'm eating penne pasta every day. I'm eating penne with marinara sauce.
I said steak burrito. But to answer Matt's question,
unlimited wings would be crazy.
My favorite pizza.
I would die on that island quickly.
To answer Matt's question, my favorite pizza, that's tough. Because you're not talking about from a specific place, right? You're talking about just topping. It's either going to be buffalo chicken without the blue cheese. I'm weird. I can't have blue cheese. I can't have mayonnaise. I can't have any of the white sauce. I'm not a white sauce guy.
I don't like it.
But either buffalo chicken without the blue cheese, or I'm going with pepperoni. Those are my 2 toppings.
No plain cheese?
I'm not a plain cheese guy. It's too boring. Too cliche.
I mean, the most exotic I'll get is throwing mushrooms, but I'm mostly a plain cheese guy.
If I say eggs, can I change the toppings and the way I cook it? You know what, Brian? I'm going to be fair for you. I'm going to say you could change the way you cook it, but you cannot change the toppings.
Because you love Brian, that's why.
I like Brian a lot. He seems like a good guy. I'm going to charge my phone. I don't want it to die. Hold on 1 second.
Well, you know what? You know what I was going to say about the... You know what I was going to say about the pizza is that my favorite pizza, I'm sure in New York you just have incredible pizza. I don't like Chicago. I'm sorry, Nathan, if that offended you. It's way too thick for me. But I'm going to go, and I'll wait till Entertainer gets back.
I'm just trying to find a place to charge my phone because it's about
I'm going to go with, my favorite pizza is Bertucci's. I don't know if you've ever had that.
You know what? I'm going to charge my phone while it's charging because it's not long enough. You're going to have to tell me what the chat is saying. But I love talking the food talk as the...
another sack! Cam Newton gets snowed in!
I'll be right back.
This Steelers defense ain't quitting. Oh, Nathan asked me a question. Zion Williamson or R.J. Barrett? The answer to me is pretty easy. It's R.J. Barrett. Because Zion Williamson, I don't think Zion's going to be that good of a defender. R.J. Barrett is a point guard. R.J. Barrett can do it all.
No, R.J. Barrett's more of a 2 guard.
I think R.J. Barrett can play point guard. He's playing point guard on Duke right now, okay? You have Zach LaVine and R.J. Barrett. Zion Williamson, I hate to say this because I absolutely love Zion Williamson. He could be a bust because he's not that quick.
I got to tell you.
Huge liability. R.J. Barrett all day to the bank. Zion is more fun, the more likable player. Zion might be my favorite player in all of basketball, just as a kid, as a player. But R.J. Barrett is a home run, zero risk player. It's R.J. Barrett all day long.
I got a wrench to throw in there. What about Cam Reddish? All 3 of the... You could argue this might be the greatest college team of all time. Arguably the first 3 picks in this year's NBA draft are playing on Duke. I watched the game the other day. It was ridiculous. I'm watching.
It is only one game, though.
Well, no.
I want you just to think about that. It's one game.
But if you look at any NBA mock draft, all 3 of those guys are in the top 4 picks, and they're playing on the same team.
No, it's a great team, but they have to. I don't even know if they're going to win the NCAA tournament because they're going to be going up against good seniors, But, it is a hell of a team. I think that Anthony Davis Kentucky team was pretty damn amazing, too.
Oh, there's been a lot of great. I mean, my favorite team of all time, and I'm showing my age here, is the Michigan team with Chris Webber. The Fab Five. I mean, you had Webber,
Right.
you had Jalen Rose, you had Juwan Howard, King,
and those team, right? And that team didn't even win. And how about this? How about the Kentucky team when you had Karl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, who's the point guard, Ulis? You remember how good that team was?
Yeah.
Julius Randle, I think, was on that team.
Well, the Ohio State team was really good in recent times when you had Greg Oden and you had Mike Conley. They also had...
the Florida team. What?
But we should talk more football. I know there's a football chat. I'm sorry, I can't see the chat. Is anybody saying anything right now?
Yeah. Nathan... Oh, I got to read you the chat. Nathan Hill says, I'm an Indiana fan, so that makes sense. He's a Midwestern guy. I was that shot from Indiana basketball when Christian Watford beat Kentucky, one of the greatest shots. I don't know, Chris, if you know about Tom Crean, but
of course, of course.
Indiana basketball. He loves this kid Romeo Langford.
Yep, I think he's gonna be a top 5 or 6 pick. Langford. A lot of Knick fans want him.
I think there's a Keith Langford. What do you know about Romeo Langford, though?
To be honest with you, I don't know a ton yet. I know that he's very highly talked about, though, in college basketball circles, and I talked to a ton of Knick fans who are very high on him, and they would like him to be a New York Knick. I know that. The guy that you hear most Knick fans most interested in, though, is R.J. Barrett and Cam Reddish. Those are the guys that most Knick fans want.
I like Cam Reddish because he reminds me kind of like a knockdown shooter. Maybe like a little Paul Pierce, but just more athletic.
But back to football. I want to get a little bit into football because this is a football show.
And Brian Gaming says he loves barbecue pizza, which is...
Barbecue pizza. Back to the food. I love talking food. Barbecue pizza is one of the most underrated pizzas. I get it very, very often. I love barbecue pizza. But now, let's get back to football. Okay, right now, you're looking at who's your MVP right now? That's what I want to know. Because right now, I think it's between either Mahomes or Gurley. Because Gurley has been that good. And there hasn't been a running... I think Peterson won it, what? Like 4 years ago?
It's got to be, for me, the kingdom of Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes.
You think no matter what, it's Mahomes right now?
Yes, because Mahomes is 8-1, and he has 30 touchdowns. This is pretty much his first year. I mean, he is like Ben Simmons. He didn't play last year.
I'm going to break out the football for this conversation.
And Mahomes is really, I mean, you have Tyreek Hill. I mean, the fact that he took that Chiefs team with such high expectations, and he's pretty much taken the league by storm. He's the catalyst for the greatest offense in the NFL. And if he were to get hurt, if Mahomes were to get hurt and they had to put in Tyler Bray, their backup quarterback, even if Alex Smith was still on the Chiefs, they wouldn't be this dynamic or potent. But you look at the Rams, if Todd Gurley was hurt, you'd still have Jared Goff, you'd still have Robert Woods. They still wouldn't be a terrible...
Well, before you say that, though, I mean, you're talking about the weapons. I think Kansas City has better weapons. With Tyreek Hill, with Travis Kelce, everybody over there, the running back, what's his name again? That's a good run.
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt, rather, yeah. And Sammy Watkins. They have a ton of weapons over there. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, but you can't just put a quarterback in and plug and play. I mean, what Mahomes is doing is incredible. I mean, he's on pace to break like the all-time touchdown records. He's on pace to throw like 55 touchdowns.
What about Drew Brees? What about Drew Brees? Everybody's forgetting about Drew Brees. The guy only has one interception all year. He's got a completion percentage of like 80. What about Drew Brees?
It's not that he's bad. It's just that this year it's so competitive at the top because these quarterbacks are just having such good,
Here come the Panthers. I can see the Steelers putting up 70 points tonight if they want.
Well, by the way, they benched Big Ben. It's Joshua Dobbs from the University of Tennessee's in at quarterback right now.
I'm charging the phone. Hopefully it's got a little...
Josh Dobbs is terrible. But, yeah, I'm getting it's Mahomes. You can't give it to any other guy. I mean, he's had a magical season. Nobody's been able to shut down that offense all year long. And Todd Gurley's an incredible player. I will say that.
Let me ask you this. If Barkley had Gurley's offensive line. How good could Saquon Barkley be?
Not as good as Todd Gurley, I'll admit it.
Are you serious?
Yes. I think if Todd Gurley was on the Giants would also be a lot better team because Todd Gurley's a lot better receiver out of the backfield. He's faster. He's a lot faster.
A lot better receiver. A lot better receiver. Saquon Barkley's on pace to catch the most balls in NFL history from the running back position. He's on pace to catch 116 balls this year.
Todd Gurley can catch 20 to 30-yard bombs.
So can Barkley. We saw Barkley catch one from Beckham this year.
He was waiting for the football to come down. I mean, Todd Gurley is so much faster. He has such better vision than Saquon Barkley. The way that Todd Gurley runs the football.
You're killing me right now. You're killing me.
What? You won't say a bad thing about Saquon Barkley.
There's nothing bad to say. He's perfect. He's the perfect.
Yeah, he's a little slow. Like the thing is, yes, he's a talented player, but he hasn't done anything in the league yet. He's not Todd Gurley.
He's touched by the hand of God. What do you mean talented? He's beyond talented.
I'm talking to the most biased freaking Saquon Barkley fan, and I'm a Giants fan. Todd Gurley just has been doing it for so long. He's been doing it for a couple of years now. You got to hand it to him.
I just think I think it's amazing what Barkley's been able to do with the Giants' offensive line. Amazing.
In fairness to you, Todd Gurley had a terrible year with Jeff Fisher, so
you're acting like Barkley's had a terrible year.
No, I'm not. You're comparing him to the great Todd Gurley. I think Todd Gurley's incredible. That's not an insult to Saquon Barkley if I'm saying that Todd Gurley might be a better receiver. I mean, I don't think that's insulting to anybody. I think that Saquon's very good at taking screen passes, at breaking tackles. Saquon Barkley's fantastic. I'm not going to argue on that point.
I'm glad.
But you really think Saquon on the Rams makes them more dangerous? Is that correct?
I think Saquon Barkley, if everybody was given the same situation, is the best running back in football. That's truly what I believe. I think he's in a horrible situation, and I think he's making the most out of it. And I still love the pick by the Giants.
No, I do too, but I would still probably take Todd, unfortunately.
We'll see. Let's see how Barkley does here too. But so far, he has been magical.
Yeah, he has, and it might change.
So we got 52-14, 9:26 to go. And this game is just going to be a blowout at this point. But, I mean, I'm just hoping for some fireworks. Maybe some people get some last-minute fantasy points. Newton under center. He's got McCaffrey in the backfield. Wide receiver in motion.
James Conner's not a rookie. I don't think he's a rookie. He's a second-year guy.
Yeah.
By the way, Matt asks, are we going to be posting videos or just streams?
We're going to be doing a ton of videos, Matt. We're going to be doing... Go ahead. I'll let you speak on that, Spencer.
Yeah, so what we're going to be doing, Matt, is we are going to be doing like tons of NFL preview videos. Our goal is to preview every single NFL game. And also our goal is to we're going to be creating debate topics that we're going to be debating. Jet Central, myself, and the Entertainer. So we are going to be doing weekly videos, weekly picks maybe on this channel. Tons of video content as well, not just streams.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do... I'm going to say what? I'm going to say safely 3 to 4 streams a week, minimum. Whether it be, we're going to do all the primetime games. So every Thursday night we'll be on here, Sunday night and Monday night. Then we're going to have, I work Saturday, but you'll have your college football content. And then maybe we'll try to do another football game every week, on Sunday, whether it be 4 o'clock. And then when football's out of season, we'll break into baseball. That'll be fun to announce a baseball game. How fun would that be? We'll get to talk about pizza the whole time because the game's so slow.
I don't know what we're going to do then. You might have to carry that one away. Yeah. And by the way, like Brian Gaming asked, about I would certainly you and JC do pick'ems, so I kind of don't want to step on that, but I would do pick'ems too.
Yeah, we do. But you know what we could do? Because me and JC on his channel, we do the straight picks every week. We could have a segment where we do picks against the spread.
I would love again. I won against the spread. I think it's more interesting.
I agree. It's much tougher to pick against the spread.
It's tougher, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's more fun, and then we can even see how we do overall. We can have standings. Maybe our fans can get involved too. We should have a contest where one of our fans can join a Zoom session. You know?
Oh, definitely, 100%.
And of course, we should have our favorite summer mock topics. You know, we talked about the beer. We talked about, you know, the fun stuff earlier in the stream.
Well, we were talking off camera. We're both big movie guys. I would love to do like a, you know, those mock movie trailer things they got going on YouTube. I would love to do one of those on the channel. Maybe do a movie review. I don't know. But
oh, you mean like we'd rate how these movies would be?
Whatever, I don't know. Just something fun.
Yeah. Academy Awards, all different type. Yeah, TV shows we can review. We can even do reaction shows to TV shows.
But obviously, mainly we're going to be focused on sports. 99.9% of our content will be sports related.
That is why we are called Insomnia Sports. Nathan Hill asks a great question here, and it's one that requires a lot of thought. And that's why we love our chat. Nathan Hill says, if you had to pick an NFL GM to draft your team, who would it be? Who's the best GM in football?
That's a great question. That is a unbelievable question. I have to really think about that. Wow. I'll tell you.
Is that not passing interference?
I'll tell you who it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. Elway's the GM over there, right, in Denver?
Yes.
It wouldn't be him. He's horrible.
He's not horrible. Horrible is a strong word. I mean, this rookie class, Cortland Sutton, freaking Brown job. It's a good rookie class.
He can't draft a quarterback to save his life.
Yeah, but he got Peyton Manning in there. I mean,
anybody could get a free agent.
I mean, not anybody. The greatest free agent prospect ever, John Elway.
He got Peyton Manning.
Well, Peyton Manning went there because of the thin end.
No, this rookie class is awesome.
But I'll tell you, I'm gonna tell you who I do like a lot, and he's yet to be proved. And I'm biased, but I think Gettleman is a very good GM. I'm not saying he's the best, but I love his philosophy. I love from building the line out, and I think the Giants are going to be headed in the right direction because of it. So I like Gettleman a lot. I'm not saying he's the best. He's not the best. But he's a very good GM in my opinion. How
about Les Snead of the Rams? I like John Lynch of the 49ers. I like Les Snead a lot. I like John Lynch of the 49ers, maybe. He's my favorite general manager.
Okay, but let's be fair. And maybe we differ on this. Did you agree with the Garoppolo signing?
I absolutely did.
I disagree with it.
You wouldn't have signed him.
I don't think he was worth a max contract. The guy only played 5 games. His whole resume was a 5-game stretch. So I personally think that he was not.
But unlike the Brock Osweiler, I mean, he was groomed under Tom Brady, and during that 5-game stretch, he beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, which had an amazing defense last year. He beat the Bears. He beat the LA Rams. He was perfect last year. And in fact, this year he was still doing well. So I still think that signing is going to be one of the greatest signings. I still think Garoppolo is going to win Super Bowls. Multiple Super Bowls.
I disagree, but we'll see. Now I can see the chat a little bit, so I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, I love Garoppolo's game. As long as he comes back from the injury, he has the quickest release in football, mentally elite. That franchise is going to be really good. Someone says, would you rather have Sean McVay or Andy Reid? I'm going to go first. I'm going to say Sean McVay, and it's pretty easy. I mean, Sean McVay's only 32 years old.
Okay.
He's one of the best offensive coordinators in football. He's the best communicator in football. Sean McVay, 1,000%.
Okay, Sean McVay, only because of age for me. Because I think Andy Reid might be the most underrated head coach in the history of football. I think that guy is a brilliant offensive mind. To me, the 2 best offensive minds in football are Andy Reid and Sean Payton. Those are my 2 favorite offensive minds.
Payton, yeah.
You look what Andy Reid did with this Kansas City team. You look what he did with the Eagles. Brilliant offensive mind. So I respect the hell out of Andy Reid, but because of age, I'd go with McVay.
Andy Reid's a little pass happy, and in the playoffs, Andy Reid's his clock management's terrible. He's not a clutch coach in the playoffs. He doesn't rise to the occasion coaching. In-game coaching wise, he is not that good though. He's a good game planner. In-game coaching-wise, he can really improve.
I love Andy Reid. I think he is a brilliant head coach, and that hurts me to say. I mean, I saw him as a Giant fan play the Giants every year with the Eagles. He used to tear us apart. So that might
hey,
be.
Chip Kelly tore us apart, too.
That's a good point there. Chip Kelly did tear us apart. But, no, I mean, he was there for, 2 years?
Oh, man. Yeah, and the really interesting thing about Reid is his consistency is just incredible. I mean, he went to Kansas City, and they didn't take a hiccup. In Philly, he had a rough stretch towards the end, and in Philly, it was very hard because they never won a championship. He had Terrell Owens, he had McNabb. He really, all quarterbacks under Reid really do well,
And look at the
it's a very fun approach.
Look at the running backs under Reid. Westbrook was the best running back in the league when he had him. Then he went to McCoy. Then Jamal Charles. Now Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
I mean, I forgot who it was. The running back who filled in for McCoy with the Eagles when he got hurt. I only remember because of fantasy. But some no-name running back filled in for 3 or 4 games, and he was the best fantasy running back for 3 or 4 weeks. The guy gets the most out of his players. He really does. He is a brilliant offensive mind, Andy Reid.
You are right, and Nathan and Brian make good points. Is that Nathan, the Andy Reid tree is pretty impressive when you have Harbaugh, I believe, in that tree, but you have Rivera, Doug Peterson, Matt Nagy, all from the Reid tree.
Right. Well, I still say, how about the Parcells tree?
Sean Payton.
Well, the Parcells tree, you got Coughlin.
Haley.
Yeah, I mean, the Parcells tree is phenomenal.
Well, Belichick. Al Groh, or who was Mike Groh or Al Groh?
Al Groh.
Right.
But go ahead.
Do you remember Bill Parcells at all? Were you young enough to remember?
Oh yeah, not with the Giants, but with the Jets, of course.
Oh, and with the Cowboys too.
Yeah. I remember. I just started watching football right when Parcells was leaving.
And he actually coached Tony Romo too.
Yeah. But I remember that great Jets team that went to the AFC title game with Parcells. With Testaverde, Keyshawn Johnson, Curtis Martin. That was a great team. They had that center.
Oh, yeah, Curtis Martin. And Curtis Martin in his speech said that Bill Parcells was the greatest
man that he's ever been around.
Well, I don't know if you knew this. You probably do. You're a football guy, but you didn't watch it back then. Curtis Martin played for Parcells with the Patriots before he came to the Jets. Curtis Martin played with Parcells, then Parcells came over to the Jets, and the next year he went and inquired Curtis Martin to come play with him.
I remember that as well.
Yeah.
I do. And that was amazing. And Bill Parcells left. You know why Bill Parcells left? Bill Parcells left because, what was his name there? Robert Kraft differed on player selection.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why. And then with Brady, and then it was funny when Belichick wanted to trade Brady and keep Jimmy G, Robert Kraft stepped in again. So Kraft is very hands-on. Belichick didn't like that. I'm surprised Bill Belichick left the Jets, though. It's amazing that coaches just used to leap so much.
There was a story behind that. I forget what it was, but there was a story behind why he left the Jets, and it had something to do with Parcells. I think, if I remember correctly, what it was the rumor anyway, was Belichick was the Patriots asked to interview Belichick while Parcells was the coach, and Parcells, I guess, ripped up I guess they faxed the request to interview him, and Parcells ripped it up or whatever it was because he didn't want him to leave. And then when Belichick found out about that, that's why he didn't coach the Jets after the fact. At least that's what I heard. That's the rumor.
Right. That actually is true, I think.
Yeah.
That's where I didn't like what Parcells did to Belichick. But I also think that without Bill Parcells, Belichick wouldn't have been much anyway. So I still love Bill Parcells, because Giants football was just such a tough football team with Bill Parcells. He is from New Jersey. He's as Giants as it's going to get, And
he was great for the Jets, too. Nathan Hill asked if we watch college football. I watch as much as I can. I work Saturdays, but you are talking to the right guy if you're asking about college football. Because Rover Sports eats, breathes, and college football. He can't get enough of it.
Yes, I absolutely love college football. I love the SEC, the Big Ten. I follow college coaches all the time. College coaches are even more exciting, I think, than the NFL coaches.
I agree with that.
Because the college coaches, they're always changing. It's, you're always evolving with your recruiting classes. And it would be hard for me, honestly, Chris, to take an NFL job if it weren't the Giants. If I was a coach, I'd love to coach college because then you could recruit every year and get really special talent in every single year. So I love the rivalries.
Yeah, what do you think is more impressive? Winning a championship in college football or winning a championship in the NFL?
I honestly think it might be the NFL.
I agree.
Once you're to that point, like a Nick Saban or a Dabo Swinney,
you're going to win every year.
You have all that talent. It's interesting. I think the NFL has great parity, but I will say this, though. In fairness to college football, when you analyze that question, you have to go 11-0 or 12-0 in college football. The way the New York Giants won their championships, we were 9-7, 10-6. We had plenty of hiccups along the way. In college football, in the 14th playoff, you need to be perfect. So that's why it's hard. But at the same time, the recruiting is easier in college football.
Yeah, I mean, college sports, the big challenge is recruiting. I mean, if you, and it's the same thing with college basketball. If you get the players, and you see with Kentucky every year, if you get the players, you're usually going to be right there for a championship. Where football, unless you're Bill Belichick, it's very hard to be a consistent winner year in and year out.
You're absolutely right at the NFL because of turnovers and because of free agency and that. So I do agree with you with that point. I mean, it depends where you're at. Some college jobs are impossible, though. Like if you're coaching like a mid-major in basketball or something,
right,
to like build it up is really, really difficult. We have a lot of good commentary on the Brady and Belichick debate, and people are wondering, would Belichick be as successful without Tom Brady?
I get into this argument all the time with my friends, and I personally think Tom Brady would have been great no matter what. But if it wasn't for Bill Belichick, and we saw it the year that Brady went down, Matt Castle went 11-5. If it wasn't for Belichick, Brady would not be what he is. Let's be real here. He set up a perfect system. Bill Belichick is constantly evolving the game. You see that the way that running backs are used now, you know who started that? Bill Belichick, okay? Before Bill Belichick, Kevin Falke uses a pass receiver. It wasn't like that back in the day. It was always the workhorse running back. Bill Belichick was the guy who established the 2-3, the running back by committee approach. He also was the guy that established the 2 tight end approach, where you use 2 tight ends as wide receivers. He constantly evolves. Wes Welker, he was the first wide receiver that was used as often in the way that he was used. You know what I'm saying? As a slot receiver. Wes Welker was essentially a running back for that team. So, to me, Bill Belichick is the guy who makes that team go. Tom Brady, of course, is phenomenal. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. He's won 5 Super Bowls. But Bill Belichick is the guy that makes that team go.
I kind of agree with you because then Rob Gronkowski in the middle of the field, was utilized. I think like when they had Hernandez and Gronk, that was the first time that they went to a 2 tight end system. When they brought in Randy Moss, like they valued the white receiver when nobody else would really do that. You know what I mean? Well, like they value receivers like, Chris Hogan, and they turned Wes Welker into just like a flame out in Miami to now so successful. Amendola's the same way when he left the Patriots, you know. That and I think Brady is a special player, but if Peyton Manning was, on the Patriots, I still think that they would have won a lot of championships as well.
I got a good one for you.
Brady's very clutch. Brady is very, very clutch, and he gets the most. Brady does get a lot out of his receivers, though, with how much preparation he puts in with them in the offseason, with how much effort Brady has. His life is football. It's a tough question. But I would say that Belichick is more valuable. Belichick even went 11-5 even in Cleveland. Yeah, before that team moved. So I would say Bill Belichick.
I got another player for you. You're talking about wide receivers. How about? He's a white running back that was used as a wide receiver. How about Danny Woodhead? You saw what he did over with the Jets. He could barely stay in the league. He didn't stay in the league, and then he comes over to the Patriots. He becomes a fantasy god. Everybody wants him on their fantasy team.
And how about Rex? How about Rex Burkhead?
Rex Burkhead. Burkhead was with the Bengals before, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right. But yeah, Danny Woodhead was special.
And then he went to the Chargers. In fairness to Danny, Danny's a beast. But yeah.
But this is winding down. We'll probably go for another 10, 15 minutes. I'm having such a great time for our first live stream, even though it's only been...
these guys are so awesome.
Yeah, even though it's only been between 5 and 10 people the whole time, it's been a blast talking to you guys.
And
talking
imagine
sports.
when JC is kicking it with us too. Holy shit, it's gonna.
And this channel only grows. We continue to do streams, continue to do videos.
And this game's been a bloodbath too, so it hasn't been the easiest one to take home.
No, but I've had fun talking about pizza, beer, football, baseball, basketball, whatever you want to talk about.
I even think, in the future we could talk about more AIMs, and that was really funny when you said I was sitting like that, and and the girls and shit, and you said that Heineken looks like weed or whatever.
I think you're a huge Corona Light guy.
I think that's your one.
No, my favorite beer actually is a beer that it's pretty common, but a lot of people probably don't even know about it if you're not into beer. Peroni. It's an Italian beer, and no, it is a great beer, very smooth, great summer beer, and of course I love Guinness. If you're a man and you don't like Guinness, there's a problem, but that's just my take on it. But
I'll tell you the truth, I think Miller Lite's not, as long as the beer is not terrible, that's a light beer, I'll drink it, to be honest.
Well, you're still in those college phase where you're so used to drinking Busch and Keystone Light.
It's terrible. Yeah, I like any IPA you can get me, like a local IPA. That's what I'll choose at the bar, though. And I like the IPA because then you can get into a good space. You can kind of be a good amount of, you could feel good without drinking like 5 beers.
Nathan,
I like drinking 2 beers and feeling perfect rather than drinking 5.
I agree with that approach. Nate, I'm just trying to adjust the chat here. How do you, Nathan Hill asked, is Tua a future Giant? I sure hope so, and I know you hope so too.
Yes, 1,000,000%. I'm almost obsessed with it.
Yeah, I saw your video. You are in love with Tua.
Yes, how about the Davis Webb comment by a freaking our boy Ronaldo Allen? He said that you and Davis Webb have this love affair. So
I don't even see it. Ronaldo's in the chat. I don't even see him.
No, he was in my comments.
Oh, I see. Okay.
For a video, we would have known if Ronaldo's in the chat.
I like Ronaldo, great guy. He actually just started coming over to my channel because I think he saw me on yours. But
right.
He always makes me laugh when I talk to him.
Oh yeah, he's a freaking jokester. Jeremy Bates, New York Jets again. A lot of Jet talk. I think Jeremy Bates pretty average. Bad OC. Bad. I'll shut that down right now, even before Jet Central gets on the live stream.
Well, I know JC's not a big fan of Bates. JC's not a big fan of that whole coaching staff.
No, Bulls, and he's going to unleash soon. He's been saving on a video for a long time.
Yeah.
JC, he made that Fire Bulls video a long, long time.
I'm getting ready to put in my... I'm kind of with you at this point. I know at the beginning of the year I said you jumped the gun on Pat Shurmur. I'm getting damn close to making a video about firing Pat Shurmur. Because he
Pat and hired the Rams offensive coordinator. Yes!
And I like to be patient with my coaches like the Giants do. This guy is clueless. As I said in my video today, they throw the ball with a quarterback who belongs in a wheelchair 70% of the time. That's the highest ratio in the history of football. Eli Manning, a guy in a wheelchair, is throwing the ball 70% of the time when you got Saquon Barkley in your backfield. That's inexcusable.
It's disgusting. It's freaking horrible. No, Pat Shurmur, too, he doesn't motivate. What does he bring to the table? Do you really think it's going to get better from here? And I don't think it really might. I really don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But
stay on Pat. Dak Prescott, is he ever going to come back to form? I'll let you go first. What do you think about Dak right now?
He asked if Dak Prescott's ever gonna come back to form?
No, he says Dak is overrated. He is terrible. That's what he said.
Okay, because I was going to say he never had form. Dak Prescott came into the league in a perfect situation. Let's be real. He had the best offensive line in like the last 30 years. He had an all-world running back and a great defense. So they said, Dak, here's what you're going to do. You're going to hand off the ball to Zeke 25 times a game, and you're going to throw little dunk passes all day, and we're going to win football games. And that's what he did. And now that they can't do that every game, now you see him get exposed. Now you see him why he should be a backup quarterback in this league. Dak Prescott is not a good quarterback. End of story.
Yep, I agree. You pretty much nailed it. Because Dak, again, he doesn't have great arm strength. He's a little slow. He's definitely not a consistent starter. No way.
Yeah.
No way. Tanner, I'm about getting ready to head out. It's been a really fun night, though. I've enjoyed it immensely.
Oh, I mean, this is as good as it gets. I'm sitting here. I'm watching football with one of my best buddies from YouTube. I'm talking to Jet fans, Giant fans, whoever, anybody who stopped in, football fans. Even though it was a blowout, I still had a blast. We talked about pizza. We talked about beer. We talked about women. We talked about how you pose for the camera. It was great, and I can't wait to do it again.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And it's only going to get more electric as we go along. But, Tanner, thanks so much, man. I'm going to go and do my own thing tonight, man. We're gonna chat about this tomorrow on our conversations. I think that this thing went great and really enjoyed it, pal. Thanks again.
I want to just say, before we go, I just want to say thank you to everybody that stayed in this chat the whole time. You guys were phenomenal. And Matt was in here the entire time. He was in here the second you started streaming. And that shows a lot of dedication. I really do appreciate that. And everybody that hopped in the second half, whatever it was, thank all you guys for stopping in. This was our first live stream. We didn't expect a lot of activity, and it meant a lot.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that, Nathan. Thank you very much. And with that being said, we are going to say bon voyage, sayonara, and we'll hopefully... What do you think? Well, you guys will probably be streaming Saturday. I won't be, but you and JC will probably have the college football up, right?
Yes, Saturday.
So you'll be able to see them on Saturday, and then I'll pop in hopefully on Sunday.
Saturday, guys. And then again, we're preparing for next week's. We're going to be doing a lot of football content next week.
And as always, cheers.